Welcome to What's the Score, a series solely dedicated to the support of Central Florida's small business and entrepreneurs. Donated as a community service by AM 660 The Answer and Salem Communications. Now, here's Christopher Hart and Rich Jaeckle.
Hello again, and welcome to What's the Score, the show designed to help you come up with that winning combination for your business. I am Christopher Hart of the American Adversaries Radio Show, and once again, I'm joined in the studio today by my colleague and co-host. That would, of course, be Rich Jaeckle of Score. Rich, how be you today?
Oh, there, the heart of Christopher.
Thanks so much for being here today. Rich, how you doing?
I'm doing fine. I went to the House of the Mouse yesterday.
Ah, did you? How'd you like it?
I was hot. There were about 50,000 people in there, and it was gruesome.
Gruesome?
But, yeah, gruesome. So my grandchildren had a lot of good times there. And I had a good time watching them.
Okay, excellent, excellent. Well, we got a big show lined up for you folks once again today. We're going to talk about the events coming up. We're going to talk about some events that just happened. And we got a special sort of guest appearance today, don't we, Rich?
Yes, we do. And that guest is going to be an actual event here that we're going to be doing. You are going to be calling the Score office.
Yeah, what we're going to do, folks, is sort of like you on FM radio rock stations they used to do all the time. They would call up out of the blue, call somebody anonymously.
That's right.
We're going to do that with Score today. We're going to show you what it's like to live Score. You know, we tell you, we describe Score to you. Today, you are going to experience, along with me, a live phone call to the Score office, and the person on the other end of the line does not know this is happening.
This is totally unrehearsed. Totally unrehearsed.
Well,
Fortunately, I've got a good counselor on today.
Let me elaborate. Everything we do here is unrehearsed.
Yeah,
okay?
even
everything we do on my show is unrehearsed. This, however, the other person doesn't even know who we are.
That's right.
Doesn't know what's going on here. So it ought to be very interesting as we do that. We'll do that in the second segment of the show. We're going to call the
Score office.
The Score office, and then I'm going to talk to the Score counselor as though I'm a new client for Score.
That's right.
And
now,
we're just going to sort of walk through this. So the other person's not going to know what's going on, so this will be all natural. So you'll see what happens if you call Score. And so it ought to be very interesting. And once again, you'll see how simple it is to get involved with Score and let them help you out. And the best part is, once again, it's free.
It's free. Now, let me remind you, there are two counselors on duty every day. One is for appointments. And so you call and make a 1-hour appointment with a counselor one-on-one. The other one does phone counseling. Okay, and they do phone counseling from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. We're going to be talking to the phone counselor, who usually fields questions from outside, you know, like where do I get a grant and stuff like that. And we'll see how they react. And this is a general phone call that they know nothing about.
That's right. So, as I said, it ought to be very interesting, reminiscent of the old FM radio days.
Yeah.
So we'll see where it goes with that. But once again, the whole idea here is to give you a better grip, a better feel, if you will, for what Score can offer you and how easy it is to get their help.
Yeah, comfort level.
All it takes is a phone call, and then you'll see what happens after that. And as I said, it'll be real interesting. And so today's show, I can't tell you who the guest is going to be until we get that person on the line.
That's right. Hopefully she performs well.
All right, well, we're going to find out. Anyway, we'd love to have you call Score and get involved if you have a business idea or if you're already in business. Score is the organization for you. Real briefly, once again, it's a free mentorship program that is staffed by volunteers who are from all walks of life, all parts of the business world, all industries. So they are there to cater your mentorship program to you and your needs. And they have a lot of seminars going on all the time. You can go down there for the one-on-ones. Of course, the Score's office is located in the National Entrepreneur Center, which is located at the Fashion Square Mall, right between Penny's and Sears. Yep. And the phone number there is 407-420-4844, and that's the number we're going to be calling today. That's 407-420-4844, and their website is scoreorlando.org. That's scoreorlando.org, and that's where you can find out more about their seminars and upcoming events like BizFest, which is rapidly approaching.
Yes, it is.
And speaking of BizFest, it will be on May the 19th. And it's going to be at the Entrepreneur Center, and we're going to be there. The American Adversaries Radio Show is going to do a live remote broadcast from the BizFest.
Hoo-ah.
Hoo-ah, that's right. And so come on down. Who knows? Maybe you'll be on the radio, but you'll certainly get to see it, and you'll get to participate in the BizFest. It will be free, and it'll be a great networking opportunity for all you people out there, business to business and upcoming new starting businesses. This would be a great event for you to participate in, and the sort of the highlight, I guess, of the event is the Pitch Fest.
That's right,
or the cocktail party, one or the other.
I pretty much prefer the cocktail party.
Yeah, but
the Shark Tank, the Scores version of Shark Tank.
Yeah, and you need to get on the ball. If you have not gotten your application in, you only have a few more days because the deadline is the day after tax filing day. So the deadline is April the 16th to get your application in, your entry into the Pitch Fest. And what will happen is once all the deadline occurs for that, then those applications, those submissions will be reviewed and whittled down, and whittled down a couple of times.
Actually, they're even being whittled down right now.
As we speak.
I
guess you've gotten a lot of them then.
We've gotten many. I mean, over our last announcement, which was a week ago when it just started, right?
Yep.
But we've got, a lot of applications, and some of them just aren't qualified right out of the box. Some of them are qualified, so we put them in a stack to be reevaluated and compared with the other applications coming in. So it is a competitive type of event.
And the number will be whittled down to where there'll be the finalists. 50 finalists.
Right.
And then they will be able to pitch their idea in front of people like the Shark Tank.
Well, they will be able to do a preliminary type pitch,
right.
And then they will be whittled down to, I think,
finalists.
The finalists.
The actual
15.
And by the way, one of our upcoming guests is going to be the lady in charge of the Pitch Fest, right?
That's right, Linda Shaheen, who is a longtime counselor with SCORE Orlando, and she is responsible for coordinating all the events, and she, even as we speak, is looking through the application and figuring out ones that are qualified for this Pitch Fest.
Yeah. So it's exciting, and if you want to get involved with the Pitch Fest, like I said, you only have until April 16th to get your entry in, and you do that by going to scoreorlando.org. That's scoreorlando.org, and just follow the instructions, and they'll walk you right through it.
Yeah, there's a tab on the top that says BizFest, and then there's another tab at the bottom that says BizFest in bigger letters and stuff. So click on either one of those, and it'll take you to Pitch Fest.
All right. That's scoreorlando.org. And once again, that's the location where you can find the schedule of all their seminars, descriptions of the seminars, and the cost of the seminars. The mentorship program is free, but some of the seminars, there is a small charge, like $30.
Yeah,
is the
$30
average.
to $50, depending on what the complexity of the seminar is.
Yeah, and these seminars, I tell you, if you were to pay for this education from, say, a college or a trade school, you'd pay a lot more than $30.
Yeah, did I tell you, Christopher, that you can subscribe to the SCORE newsletter?
I think we've talked about that before. How do you go about doing that?
Well, you just get right on the website there, scoreorlando.org, and it says there if you would like to subscribe to the weekly or the monthly newsletter, fill out your name, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So it goes out to hundreds of people and clients right now.
All right. So the BizFest, May 19th. The deadline for the Pitch Fest, April 16th. Those are two dates you need to keep in mind. And, of course, you don't have to be an entry into the Pitch Fest to come to the Biz Fest. The Biz Fest is for everybody. You don't have to.
I'll be F word.
Yeah, that's
free.
Right. That's right. And it's like I said, it'd be a great networking opportunity. And once again, SCORE is for people who are either starting out or are already in business. But one of the first things that SCORE does, I think, we'll find out here maybe in a little while, when people come to them is with a new idea per se, is to evaluate whether entrepreneurship is for them or not. Right, Rich?
Oh, my goodness, yes. It's absolutely correct. Is it right for you? And there's about 10 questions that you need to ask yourself very seriously. Is it right for you? For instance, the first question, and you're an entrepreneur, so let me ask you some of these questions.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, here we go. Are you a self-starter?
Yes, I am.
Very good. Okay, do you get along with other different kinds of people?
Yes and no.
All right. There's a question mark. Let's see. How good are you at making decisions?
Usually pretty good.
Okay. So far, so good. Are you physically able to have your own business, or do you have any ailments that bother you that would prohibit you from working long hours?
Just laziness.
I suffer from that malady myself. How well do you plan and organize?
That I could do better at. I'm good at planning, organizing, sometimes not quite so good.
Okay, hit and miss, huh?
Yeah,
kind of like me.
Yeah.
All right, these are questions that you, the audience out there, need to ask yourselves. And since Christopher is his own business, he can answer these from experience. So here's another one. Yeah. Is your drive strong enough?
4 out of 5 days, yes. By Friday, it's waning a little bit, but yes.
Okay, so how important is your day off? In other words, can you live without it?
Often do. What is a day off?
Okay.
I'm on the radio 6 nights a week.
But I mean, like, there's many people who say, no, I have to have Friday off because I play golf.
Yeah, no, that's never worked for me.
Okay, very good. And how will this business, and this is probably in my mind the most important question, and it's very seldom asked, how will the business affect your family? Now, you can talk to this in terms of the feelings that you have, in terms of other people, and, how would you want them to feel and that kind of stuff.
Well, in terms of in terms of family, generally, I think the one word that jumps into my mind is security. And I actually think you have more security with your own business, in particular in this day and age, than as an employee. Because you basically have your destiny in your own hands. And if you work hard, you're generally going to succeed. And once you do succeed, and you become a good business person and have some clientele, it's to me, it's more secure than working for someone else. And so in terms of the family, I know for me, it's made me a happier person, which probably makes me easier to get along with.
This is it. This is as good as it gets.
But certainly, I've never had to borrow any money from members of the family. We got to take a break. Sorry, folks. We'll be right back. Okay, welcome back to What's the Score? I'm sorry we sort of rushed out of that first segment there. I was so intent on answering Rich's questions, I sort of lost track of the clock there. Anyway, welcome back to the show. Once again, scoreorlando.org is the website. 407-420-4844 is the number for SCORE. Now, in just a minute, I'm going to give Jeff Sinnis, our producer, the heads up, the high sign, so to speak, and he's going to dial that number, that very number there. And we're going to get the SCORE counselor. And then we're just going to see what happens from there. Now, once again, the SCORE counselor does not know this devious Rich has put me up to this. All right? So we're going to see what happens here. This has never been done before. So,
hang on, folks.
So this should be interesting. But the whole idea, once again, real quickly, the whole idea is to get you and I to give you a better idea of how easy it is to get involved with SCORE. You can just begin to do this over the telephone. And so let's just see where it goes from here. So, Jeff, let's get a try. What we're going to do is we're going to hear Jeff, we'll hear the dial tone. We'll hear him dialing, and then we'll hear it ringing. And there's the dial tone. He's dialing now. And as soon as it starts ringing, we're going to stop talking until the counselor answers the phone. Once again, they don't know this is happening. And this was Rich's idea if it all goes bad.
Hey, come on.
Here we go.
You have reached the office of SCORE Orlando, the counselors for small business. We're currently assisting another client. Please leave your name, number, and we will be happy to return your call. Have a great day.
Okay, now that usually means that they are on.
I hope you know they're recording this right now.
They're recording this. Never mind. Goodbye.
You can hang it up. Well, so much for that, Rich.
No, don't call back. We'll call right back. But anyway,
they're going to hear that recording now, though. They're going to go, uh-oh, that Rich is up to something.
Won't.
Yeah.
No, they won't.
All right.
That usually means that they have a client, a potential walk-in client who walked in and asked for some on-the-spot counseling.
Right.
So they put the phones on hold. Okay, now let me call. You talk about home-based businesses. I'm going to call the administrative assistant and make sure that the counselors don't have the phone.
Okay, all right. We've been thwarted in our attempt at a candid phone call here.
We've been delayed.
While Rich works on that, let me just remind you again, scoreorlando.org is the website. They got a lot of great seminars coming up. Mike McBath and his son Taylor were at one of the seminars just this past week. It was a seminar on salesmanship, and a couple of the guys that presented the seminar had been on our show before. I would have loved to have been there. I couldn't make it that day, but I will be going to the next one on salesmanship. It's something that you need as you're starting out, and you kind of need a refresher every now and then as well. And, of course, Mike was a very successful stockbroker with UBS Warburg Bank for some 38 years. And so, obviously, you had to be a great salesperson to accomplish that. And so he took his son Taylor down there. And what Taylor is, he's in graduate school at UCF. And, of course, that's great training for him as he's starting out in the business world itself. And then also coming up this weekend, hope you were able to make it, was the social networking seminar at SCORE. And it's very informative when it comes to the use of Twitter and Facebook and LinkedIn and the other various sundry social networking sites. So once again, there's always something going on over at the Entrepreneur Center with SCORE. And by the way, as we've told you before, they're just one of the organizations that are at SCORE. Both the Hispanic and the African American Chambers of Commerce are located there as well. So a lot of great stuff going over at the Entrepreneur Center. So where do we stand, Rich?
We're ready to go, man.
All right, Jeff, let's give her another try. Let's see what happens.
Bear with us here, folks. This should be fun.
All right.
This is a typical call.
If we didn't blow it the first time, let's see what happens here. 407-420-4844 is the number we're calling right now. And let's see what happens this time.
Good afternoon. This is SCORE. May I help you?
Yes. Hi, my name is Chris Hart, and I heard about you guys from a friend. I am a small business owner myself, and I was just wondering if maybe there's something you might have to help me out.
Okay. What would you like us to help you with?
Well, first of all, I'm already in business. I'm set up.
What kind of business do you have?
It's small repairs around the home and office, carpentry, that sort of thing.
Are you kind of a handyman all around?
I guess that would be the best description for it, yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay.
And the situation I'm in is I get steady work, but I just can't seem to get past a threshold. I don't know if I need, advice or maybe an influx of cash so that I could expand my business and hire a couple of employees. I'm pretty sure I could find the work, but I'm just sort of not sure how to go from here.
Okay. Let me ask you this. Hello?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, I'm hearing myself.
It's probably I'm using my iPhone and I'm using a speakerphone.
Oh, okay. Well, I hear myself. Okay,
I'm sorry.
Hear me now? Okay.
Yes, okay.
All right. Are you working by yourself?
For the most part, I am, yes. When I do get jobs bigger than I can handle, I just subcontract part of it out.
Right. Okay. Do you you have an established business already?
Yes, I do.
And have you formed any kind of a corporation or anything like that?
LLC.
You have an LLC, and you're the only person in that LLC?
Yes.
Okay. All right. I guess the question is, how do you market yourself? That's really your question, right?
I suppose it is. Like I said, I get it. It's by word of mouth is how I get my business. And I'm thinking if maybe I had a little more cash or something, maybe I could do some marketing where it would be more than just word of mouth. Well,
yeah. Sometimes you don't need an awful lot of cash to market yourself. It's just a question of knowing who you want, what kind of a area you want to concentrate in. Okay, are you primarily into home repairs more so than you would in a commercial type of setting?
Predominantly, yes.
Okay. So how do you, now you say word of mouth, so you can't really depend too much on that because although we all need a handyman, you got to have something that's a little more steady. So maybe perhaps, have you ever been to our office? Maybe one of the things you want to do is come and meet with one of our folks, but more importantly, maybe think about considering a marketing class that we offer. Marketing your business would have been a great class for you to attend.
Well, to be honest with you, I don't know much about SCORE at all. A friend of mine evidently listens to a show on the radio about SCORE, and he told me about it. He's not a business owner, but he likes to listen to the radio a lot. He knows that I have my own business. And he said, you need to call these guys up. They can help you out. And he said they can help you find loans. He said they can help you get insurance. They can help you get legal documents. And if I'm not set up the right way, they can help me reset up. And is all that true?
Yes, that is all true. And what we are is we are a nonprofit organization with everybody is a volunteer here. And basically, we all have been in business, and we are not everybody is retired, but most of us are retired, and we just want to give back to the people and kind of tell them what we've gone through and teach them what to look out for and be careful when they are in business and what are the things that they need to be aware of. So that's what we do. It is free of charge. We are located at the Orlando Fashion Square. And I would encourage you to come by and meet with one of our counselors. You don't have to make an appointment. You just come in and tell us exactly what you're looking for. But based on what you're saying to me, I think one of the things you need to do is really have a marketing program, a marketing plan. And what we do is we have classes that would teach you how to do that.
Are the classes free too?
No, the classes are not free. But they're cheap. For what you get, they're extremely cheap. They're like $30.
For per class, what, a couple hours or something like that?
Yes, it's a class. It's called Marketing Your Business, and it's held once a month. And unfortunately, the last one in April was yesterday, but the next one will be in May 14th. And they're held at night from 6 to 9 p.m.
Now, what's that one on May 14th? What's that again?
It's Marketing Your Business.
I see.
And it's held at 6 o'clock, 6 to 9 p.m. And we go through the whole process, give you some of the materials and everything else. And, you can begin to fill it out there, but most important, you take it back home, you think about all that is discussed there, you do as much as you can of the marketing plan, and then you bring it back to one of our counselors who will review it and take a look at what you've done and then take it from there. And remember that everything we do, every counseling and everything else that we do is free.
Okay, so the only thing I have to pay for is the seminar.
That's it.
All right. My buddy also said that you have people like in my business that would be helping me. In other words, I wouldn't be working with somebody that didn't know anything about carpentry, say.
Well, we have people who have been in construction. I don't say that we have people who have been in, that are handyman. Or
it's sort of the same thing.
Most of the folks that work here have either had their own business or worked for a major company in whatever.
My buddy also said that that through SCORE I could maybe get a small business loan.
Yeah, for which you would have to have a business plan and so on and so forth. How long have you been in business?
Oh, doing this, I've been in business about 10 years.
Okay, how long has the LLC been open?
About that.
About 10 years? Okay.
Yeah, I think it's eight or nine. I think I did it for about a year with that. I'm sorry.
The bank statements and everything else?
Do I have bank statements? Oh, yeah.
Okay, aside from the marketing plan, the other thing that you would need to do is do a business plan. Because if you're going to borrow money from anybody, you're going to need a business plan.
All right. There's something else I need to do. I need to ask your name.
Lucy Pulido.
Lucy?
Yes.
You are presently on What's the Score? You're on the radio show. Rich Jaeckle is sitting in the studio across from me, and we have spent a segment of the show showing our audience what it's like to get involved with SCORE. Now, everything that I told you is actually true about myself, so we didn't lie to you or anything like that. But we did
Everything I told you is true about myself.
Well, we were hoping so, but I want to thank you for that. And if you'll stay with us, we have to take a break, but when we come back, we want to talk to you more about the SCORE experience that I just had.
Who was the best recruit you ever had?
Yeah, just think about that, Lucy, and we'll take the break.
Best recruit? Okay.
Well, you think it over. We'll take the break, and we'll come back to you here in just a couple of minutes. So we'll put you on hold. We'll be right back.
All right.
Okay, welcome back to the show. What's the Score? The show designed to help you come up with that winning combination for your business. And believe it or not, we still have Lucy Pulido on the line. She hasn't hung up on us yet.
She was tempted. She was tempted.
But actually, that's exactly what we wanted to have happen. We wanted you folks to see just kind of what it is. It's just sort of a friendly conversation that gets this whole thing started. And you got a whole slew of information from Lucy there. Lucy, is that a typical phone call? Real quick. First of all, I just found out that you recruited Rich into SCORE. Any regrets?
Well, sometimes I do have some regrets.
Excuse me?
In general, I think he's been excellent for our organization.
Yeah, it's real good. Thank you for the endorsement. Hey, is there anybody that is in the office with you so we don't interrupt any walk-in counseling?
No, but you've interrupted my work on the computer.
Oh,
That's
good.
Okay.
You playing solitaire? Okay. Sorry, Christopher.
All right. Lucy, is that sort of typical of people who just call you out of the blue?
Yeah, that's a very typical thing. A lot of people, unfortunately, don't know that SCORE is here, that we're ready to help. And most important, I think what is unusual about us, which I'm sure you've repeated that several times, is that we have a lot of folks who are professionals, who have had their own business. We are organized in such a way that we like to give back, and many of us are retirees. And as a result, we want to give back to the community and tell everybody the bumps that we've incurred in our careers, and we want to make sure folks that we've learned, and we want to make sure they don't do the same. The wonderful thing about SCORE is that it's free, and it's too bad that people who want to start a business are not aware that this organization exists with such a phenomenal amount of experience.
Hey, Lucy, your background is international marketing with some podunk little firm, right?
Well, my background really is operations. I was an operations person for a 500 very large company,
Fortune 500,
an international company, and I was in charge of operations for all of Latin America. So
Who was
I have
the company?
quite a bit of experience in that.
Who was the company?
American Express.
I see. Yeah, that's a pretty big one. Don't leave home without it.
There
right?
you go.
Never leave
But
home
she
without
did.
Yeah. What impressed me was that you, with a series of questions, you sort of zeroed in on what my need was, and you were able to target me right away into where you thought that I could get the most bang for my buck, so to speak, at SCORE.
Well, that's one of the tasks that the person at what we call the mod or the manager on duty have to do, really. Because one of the things we want to do is we don't want to waste the person's time, or the manager's time. So what we want to do is bring in people who really we can help, so that when we sit them down with the counselor will be able to guide them properly. And so we try to, at least I try to kind of get down to task and see what they know, what they want, and how we can help them. So my job basically is to screen that call.
And it's sort of a triage type thing. I mean, with a series of questions, you sort of determine, where the patient is and where the treatment needs to begin. And I thought you did it quite
eloquently.
Yeah,
it was real good
and efficiently. And of course, for somebody else, it would have been, you would have maybe directed them somewhere else in the SCORE organization. But the main thing we wanted to show people was just basically how easy it is to get involved with SCORE. It doesn't take much time. It doesn't take much money. Believe it or not, it didn't take much effort.
No, and they're friendly people on the other side. They aren't government bureaucrats. They are actual people.
Right.
Yes.
And
we all are actual people.
How long have you been? You said you recruited Rich. I know he's been at SCORE for, about 10 or 12 years?
About 14.
14. How long have you been with SCORE, Lucy?
I've been with SCORE about 15 years.
And how did you get involved? How did you find out about SCORE? How did you get involved?
Well, believe it or not, I retired, and then I thought, what am I going to do now? And I looked at the newspaper, and I went in for an organization where I could volunteer, and that didn't work. So then I looked, and there was SCORE, and I thought, what is this? And I found out what it was about, and it was about business, which is what I like and what I know. And I thought, okay, I'll go with them and see what it's like. I came, I interviewed, and got hired, if you will. And I liked it very, very much because it keeps me involved in business, and it keeps me abreast of what's going on. And that's an opportunity that I like. So, and I get to meet a lot of interesting people, and then some that are not so interesting, like Rich. But
well, we're all stuck with you. Hey, he's like family. You just can't choose your family.
Right? There you go. Hey, one of the biggest questions we have is about grants. Tell us, what happens when you get a phone call about grants?
Well, grants are a very special thing. Everybody seems to think that there's money to be had and that it's easy to just call them, gee whiz, here's an opportunity for me to get some money. And grants are really very difficult to get, especially folks just think that if they make up a business, they can just go and apply for a grant, and that's not the way it works. Generally, you really have to have an organization already in place, and you should have a 501c3 established. If that is what you want, if you're looking for money, you're going to have to. It's a lot more difficult, I think, than people think. So you have to have an organization. You have to have a purpose. And, if you're going to go get money from the government, who is generally the people that they're going after, or, the people want money from the government, they have to have all their ducks in order. So they have to have pretty much like any other business. They have to have a business plan, and they have to know what they're looking for. They have to be organized. It's not just I'll start a business and then go ask for money. Wouldn't that be great? We'd all be doing that.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, well, in Singapore, they kind of do that over there. Yeah,
but they're funded.
Yeah, absolutely. So if you want to do that, go to Singapore.
There you go.
They're 12 hours behind or ahead of us. I forget which. But
the other question that we get asked frequently is let's take Christopher here. He's in business. He's been in business for 10 years, but he doesn't know what kind of insurance he needs.
Well, it depends on what kind of business he has, right?
Right.
Sure.
He's a carpenter.
Right.
One of the problems that he might have is, well, first of all, he got to have insurance for himself. He doesn't want to hit himself with a hammer, right?
Right.
And the other thing, he might want to be bonded if he's coming into people's houses.
Yep.
He may want to have some bonding.
Yep.
So that would be one of the things that I would, certainly be concerned about.
Is bonding the same as liability insurance? Is that what you're talking about?
Well, no. Liability insurance would be one thing. Bonding would be the other. But one of the things that, if you're coming into my house, I would like to make sure that you are bonded if you're going to be in my house, and I'm not going to be there because who knows, you might be a thief or something in disguise, right?
He looks like a gangster, too. I wouldn't let him in the house myself. But, the bonding protects the individual.
Right.
I see.
Liability protects the premise.
Right.
Okay. See, I wasn't sure about that.
There you go.
All right. Well, but once again, the whole idea is that no matter your business need, if you're an entrepreneur just starting out or already established, or just want to change your business, SCORE is the place to go. And it's really an easy, thorough way to help you in the business world.
It is, and it is really, I think the most outstanding thing with this is that you're going to have the expertise of people, and it's free. I mean, if any one of us went to any business and actually did this as a business, we'd all be charging X number of dollars
You're not kidding.
Per hour. Whereas here, you just come and you get it for free.
That pesky
and we have
F word.
a series of expertise that are just unbelievable. We have people who have been high-ranking executives to people who are attorneys, financial experts. I mean, you name it, we have it. And if we don't have it in Orlando, we have it somewhere in the nation because there's over 13,000 volunteers all around the nation, believe it or not. So we have access to that.
Lucy, how often are you the manager on duty, the mod?
I try not to be here when Rich is here, so that makes it about twice a month.
Okay. All right, well, we got lucky to catch you
real
today.
Funny girl. Wait a minute, I have one more question
well,
here.
You go right ahead. One more question, then we're just about out of time.
The biggest question we have is, I am a startup. What do I do next?
Well,
Isn't that the biggest question you usually get?
No, usually on my duty, usually what I get is, I want to start a business. And so I ask them, have you ever been in business before? And they normally say no. So then I direct them directly to our starting your new business, because people really need to know what they're going to get themselves into when they're starting a business. It's not, everybody thinks starting a business is simple. If you want to do it right, it's not exactly simple, but the first test is, if you want to listen to what it takes to start a business, then you ought to come to our seminar. And one of the seminars is free. I mean, that was, the first seminar is your business idea and how SCORE can help. And that's an easy seminar that is free. And then you can come and start your new business, which is a seminar that you pay for, but the price is cheap. And you will learn all about what kind of a company you want to have, the legal company you want to have, and all the information that you need to start your business. So if you've never been in business, those are the two things you have to take care about.
Lucy, I hate to admit it, but I don't have my notes in front of me. When's the next free seminar coming up?
The next free seminar you should attend should be on the 18th of April.
April 18th.
It's a Saturday. And we make it convenient so that if people who are working and considering starting their business, at least they don't have to be absent from work.
So where can they register? Where can they register?
They can register by phone. They can come in person. We're open. It starts at 9:30. Be here at 9:15 or so.
Online, right?
Yeah, and you can register online. Go to SCORE, to our website, and you can register right there.
All right. Well,
okay.
Yeah, it's once again, Lucy, you were great. Appreciate it. And thanks for being such a good sport. But if you want to give Rich a red belly when he gets back to the office there, that's okay by me.
Talk about catching me totally an innocent bystander that I was.
Unprepared.
Right. Unprepared, totally, yes.
Actually, you were quite well prepared, and you handled it quite well. And as I said, the whole intent was to show our audience how easy it can be to get the great help from great people like yourself and Rich at SCORE. So you did
Thanks, Lucy.
You did a great job, and Rich is going to put you in for a raise.
Oh, good. Maybe I can get double what I get.
There you go. 2 times not is not.
Yeah, right. Well, thank you. And please spread the word. We're a great organization, and we're ready to help.
You just did spread the word.
You helped us a great deal doing just that.
It, okay?
All right.
Thanks, Lucy.
Thank you so much, Lucy. Been a pleasure talking with you.
Same here. Bye-bye.
Okay, folks. That's how easy it is. We'll be right back. Okay, welcome back to What's the Score, the show designed to help you come up with that winning combination for your business. Christopher Hart here along with Rich Jaeckle. And that was pretty fun, Rich.
That was great, wasn't it?
Yeah.
We caught spontaneously, right off guard, the SCORE counselor on duty that you can just call in and get advice from 9 to 5 daily.
Yeah, and you saw how easy it was, and you saw how they expertly sort of walked me through a few questions and were able to figure out where I needed to go to get the right help for me, for my particular situation. And it doesn't matter what your situation is, they're there to help you find the guidance you need to go forward. So it was a very educational experience. And by the way, did you notice how she didn't blink an eye, or well, how do I know? But she didn't pause or say, no, that never happens around here. When I told her that a friend of mine had told me that they heard it on the radio. Folks, radio is a great way to get your name into the community, to get much more exposure than you can get. Yes, it's a traditional way of advertising, but it's also a very effective way of advertising. That's why you still hear a lot of great businesses in the area advertise on radio. You ever listen to the radio? Well, the reason that people advertise on the radio is because it works, and people are coming to SCORE because they hear this show.
And more people are listening to talk radio than any other station.
Any other format, any other radio format. Talk radio, news talk radio is the most listened to radio format in the United States of America. So if you want to get your word out, you want to get your product out, your service out there, you want to get your name out in the community, radio is a great way to do it. It's easy to do, too. Just call the station manager here at Salem Communications Orlando, Salem Media Group. His name is Bill Files. He's as easy to talk to as Lucy is, I guarantee you. And his phone number is 407-618-1760. That's 407-618-1760. Bill Files is his name. He'd love to give you a tour around the station complex. There are now 4 stations here. So if news talk isn't for you, if Christian broadcasting is for you, if Spanish broadcasting is for you, if local broadcasting is for you, we can help you out. Bill Files is the man. He'd love to show you around. He can explain how easy it is to become an advertiser on radio. He can also explain how easy it is to have your own radio show.
Yeah, and they took over the Disney station, which is now has a Hispanic, faith-based type of format.
It's going to be a great station, and it'll be up on the airwaves here very shortly. And so, once again, radio is a great way to get your message out into the community, and you can reach a lot of people very effectively and very affordably. 407-618-1760. Bill Files is his name. Please give him a call and tell him you heard about it on What's the Score. And if you have any ideas or suggestions about What's the Score, we love to hear them. If you want to give us a review on our little prank phone call today, so to speak, we'd love to hear that too. Just go to National EC Score at nationalec.org. That's score at nationalec.org.
Hey, Christopher.
Yes.
Did I tell you that we have a Speakers Bureau in SCORE?
What is the Speakers Bureau?
Well, Speakers Bureau responds to such as chambers of commerce or Rotary clubs or those types of things who would like a speaker to come in and give a short overview of how do I start a business.
I see.
So for their members, like we're doing a lot with Pine Hills, which is an underprivileged area.
Yep.
And we go in and try to teach some of the chamber in there how to start their own business or how to tweak it and that kind of stuff. But we are available. We have about 15 speakers that are available. So if you call us at score.org, and you'll give the phone number.
Well, scoreorlando.org, the phone number 407-420-4844. If you would like one of these speakers to come out and speak in front of your group, they'd love to do it. And once again,
we'd love to do it.
No charge, right?
No charge. And we've got about 15 scheduled for this month already.
Well, that's fantastic.
It is, yeah.
So do take advantage of that.
They're all community type efforts too. So we can talk pretty much about what's going on in the community, what's going on with SCORE, the SBA, business in general. So whatever your need is in your organization, give us a call.
Yeah, 407-420-4844. So SCORE does a lot of things in the community, and all you have to do is reach out to them to take advantage of it. And that's why we do this show, to make sure that you know they are there to help you out. And now it turns out Lucy was a great guest today.
It was all spontaneous. I even dreamt it up last night.
Great idea.
So I think it was. I think I'll go have a beer on that.
Yeah, actually, that was Rich's idea.
Idea.
Speaking of Paul, we're going to have him back pretty soon. Isn't he the chairman of the BizFest?
He was supposed to be here this week or next week. Okay. And he's gotten so busy with planning this BizFest.
It's going to be a big event.
He's not been able to make it. So he will not be here until after BizFest.
All right.
So we've got a lot of other really good guests coming up.
Now, you mentioned one of the guests that's coming up is the chairman of the Pitch Fest.
There you go. Yes, she is. That's right. The executive in charge of the Pitch Fest.
Okay, so she'll be describing what they're going through, the selection process, and all of that sort of thing.
Right. She's the head of the selection. She will take in the number of applicants, limit the number of applicants, the dates, etc. Her name is Linda Shaheen, and she is a SCORE counselor.
All right. Who else we got coming up in the near future?
Well, you remember we were talking about the psychology of business and, how people's heads can get screwed up if they get too involved in business. And we had Martin Tier here.
Yep.
Yeah, well, he's coming back.
All right. Good.
Yeah, he's trying to unscrew our heads.
Counseling.
Both of us, he's coming back to fix us.
That'll be interesting.
Yeah. We got Ed Ramos from the SBA coming back to say, today with the SBA.
And speaking of the Small Business Association, you have brought in a magazine today put out by the Small Business Administration. I should say administration, not association. Small Business Administration puts out what they call a resource guide for small business once a year. It's a magazine. And can people get these at the Entrepreneur Center from the Small Business Administration office down there?
Absolutely. They're actually published by SBA, Small Business Administration, but they're given to SCORE, and primarily SCORE, because SCORE is the counselors that support SBA.
And there's a lot of stuff in here. If you were listening during the first segment of the show, Rich was asking me some questions about his entrepreneurship right for you. That's one of the articles in here. It has a page of reaching underserved communities, faith-based and neighborhood partnerships, Native American business development, veterans business outreach centers. This has got a lot of great information in it. And once again, we highlight SCORE because obviously the show is What's the Score, and we want to, talk about what we do and what we know about. But there are a lot of other great organizations over at the Entrepreneur Center who work hand in hand with SCORE. And the Small Business Administration, of course, is one of them. So if you're in the area of Fashion Square, if you're over there shopping, stop in the Entrepreneur Center and pick up some of this great literature.
It's all free, guys. Free. You just come in there, and it's got everything you need to know about a small business.
And once again, all you have to do is go to the Entrepreneur Center in the Fashion Square Mall. It's open 9 to 5, Monday through Friday.
There you go.
So you can go over there, do a little shopping, and hit the SCORE office all at the same time.
Yep.
And you can also find out about the other organizations that are there as well. And we try to have them on here periodically, like Rich was saying.
Yeah, we've had the export, U.S. import-export expert, and we've had
Small Business Administration.
Yeah, Small Business Administration. All these are for your benefit, guys. All of these are for your benefit, and they're free.
All you have to do is take advantage of it. Once again, circle on your calendar May the 19th for the Biz Fest. And it's going to start about noon, right?
Correct.
And it'll go all through the afternoon, and then they'll have a little wrap-up cocktail party at the end of the day. We will be broadcasting the American Adversaries Drive Time radio show there live at 5 o'clock.
That's right.
And Rich will be sitting in. Mike McBath's going to be there that day.
He's giving the keynote president of the NFL, retired.
Players Union, that's right. Played for the Buffalo Bills and in the World League. And he's also a regular on our show, the American Adversaries show. And it's just going to be a lot of fun, and it's going to be a great business networking opportunity to get you hooked up with some of the other businesses in the area that can help you out.
That's right. And networking is everything for you guys. Everything. And we have 3 seminars that are going to be given.
That day.
Yeah, that day by outside representatives and then our, quote, experts in their field. One is marketing on a shoestring. So how many of you need that? Marketing on a shoestring.
Well, according to Lucy, that's what I need.
That's right. It was a good phone call for you, wasn't it?
It was an excellent phone call. And educational for me as well.
There you go.
I've been in business
10 years.
Well, actually, I was thinking about it during one of the breaks. It's closer to 12.
So see, you didn't have a license for the first 2, did you?
I did have a license. I didn't have a corporation.
Okay.
Then they made some changes to the workman's comp law, and everybody had to go down and become an LLC overnight.
Right.
But those are all the sorts of things that you can find at SCORE. And once again, it's a great organization. And the local website is scoreorlando.org. But don't forget, this is a national organization. Like Lucy said, some 13,000 volunteers nationwide.
That's right.
And if they don't have the right person here, maybe they can get somebody else to help you out. But you can go to their national website, score.org. That's score.org, and find out more about the national organization. And that's where you have a lot more of the templates and business documents.
Yeah, I was just going to say that. There's 500 sample business plans up there.
Is that right?
Yeah, 500 of every field that you can imagine. I bet you they even have woodworking in there.
I bet they do.
So you can go up there and you can see if you want to get a loan or something, you're going to need a business plan. So go on score.org, look it up, and you'll see how to write a business plan, short business plan. They're only supposed to be 10 pages, guys.
Yeah.
10 pages.
If it's longer than that,
they throw them.
They won't read it. That's right. Real quickly, one last reminder. This is the last reminder you'll get. Wednesday, the 16th, is the deadline for the Pitch Fest. You have to have your entry in by the 16th, okay? And that's coming up real quickly now. So that'll be this week. That's the day after tax filing day. So if you want to be in the Pitch Fest, you've got an idea for a new product or service, or you just got it already started out, Pitch Fest is where you need to pitch that idea. And so get your entry in by the 16th, and who knows, you might end up winning that doggone thing.
That's right. There's money prizes, cash prizes, and there's investors. And the biggest thing, investors in the audience.
And we found out from Gina, the second place winner from last year, she took her second place money and drove up to be on the actual Shark Tank.
That I could not believe.
Almost got on.
That I could not believe. What a thinking out the box.
That's drive there.
Man, oh man, that's cool.
All right. Okay, I hope you've enjoyed today's show as much as we've enjoyed doing today's show for you. Once again, if you have any ideas, suggestions, questions, send them to us at score@nationalec.org. That's score@nationalec.org. If you want